Hello everyone, Gavin here at Hologram Productions, and in today's lesson I'm going to be teaching you how to make your own arpeggios from scratch.
ARPS 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 ARPS.
First thing we want to do is we want to start off by giving ourselves a bass line. Create a 4-note sequence. Duplicate the channel, and then you're going to use this channel in order to make your arpeggios by taking the sequence and turning them up a few octaves. Transform the long notes into 32-beat sequences. We're going to create a basic arpeggio pluck sound using operator, and I'm going to affect the parameters using the volume levels, the frequency, the resonance. Make sure the two lines are in parallel, no FM. Now add audio effects, starting off with some chorus, tape reverb, echo, chuck in a reverb. I like to cut off the lows and the highs and reduce spin. Now we create an audio rack by grouping all of the audio effects together, and we have 8 manipulatable macros. Manipulatable is probably not a word. I will want to affect the parameters of the chorus, the dry wet on the echo as you see here, the dry wet on the reverb, and also the rate of the echo, so you can create some interesting slides. As for the operator instrument itself, I want to use the filter frequency. I want the amount on the envelope to be controllable. If you go to edit macro map, you can actually limit your parameters for your macros so that you don't go too wild up and down the octaves when you want to affect the chorus. Now there are lots of cool parameters that we can manipulate, and we can live record these envelopes. Forgot to add is a saturator, which I want to put at the very beginning of the chain just to thicken the sound. Now that we have the basis for creating our arpeggios, we need to now move the notes up and down in specific octaves in order to formulate our arpeggios. You can put it on the 0, the 3, the 7 and the 12. You can even put it on the 5. So that's pattern number 1. So now I'm going to create another pattern for us to follow. Following the 0, the 2, the 3 and the 7. So now let's change the arpeggio every 2 bars in order to follow the changing of the bass note. Okay, pattern number 3. This time we're going to follow the 0, the 7, the 3 and the 12. You can get creative at this point and start adding a few additional notes. You can do this by ear, you don't have to follow theory for every step of the way. Duplicate some notes, put some up an octave, just add some random ones. Pattern number 4, and now we're going to go across an octave, so you can go 2 below. You can go to 0, 3, 5, 7, 12 and 14. The reason why these notes work is because it's following a minor scale. let's do one very simple one on the 0, the 2 and the 3. Duplicate this out a bunch of times. Use the macro to play around with the octave as you hear it. You can also throw a 7 in there. Okay, now I'm feeling we need a kick. Now you can hear that things are starting to come together now. You should be able to envisage the entire track. Start playing around with some of the notes, duplicate, put up an octave, just make it richer and more dense. Bearing in mind, this is just a template ARP. You can go in and use other instruments. This is me playing around with analog, which also sounds pretty good. If you have any VSTs, you can also play around with some of the presets. I really like Diva. See what you can find. Some of this stuff sounds pretty good. Now I want to open up a new scenario and create some major arpeggios. So like before, let's just create a bass line. As before, we're using the bass line as our reference for creating our ARPs, so you just put it up a few octaves. I'll try not to talk too much to this step, just watch closely how I build it. Cool, so that is now the basis of a nice progressive house track. All I need to do is just flesh that one out. So there you go, guys. I'm kind of hoping that after watching this video, it will encourage you to avoid using any Arpeggio Maker plugins. You can do it yourself as long as you apply a few basic theories. And also don't forget to group all of your audio effects to the macros, hence making your sound a lot more. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys all next time.
ARPS